Seth Hatchell right to the back bumper of the 32. And this has been so hard to pass down here, but Emerson gonna clear Mayato. Not gonna go low. He's gonna try and fake the 48. Travato using the inside lane. Mayato now up half a groove. The second position will trade for a race. Oh, hard contact. Mayato up in the air, up on the hood, on top of the Geico machine. All over his back bumper, and has to be very tactical with his moves. Oh, and hard under braking. Travato nearly locked it up there. St. Bear's big slide out of turn number 1. Comes Chris Samar, Kevin Cornelius. They're going to make a charge in the third lane. Is it too little, too late? Are they going to have the run out of turn number 4? Mark Emerson down low. They're all going to wreck. Dennis Fairclough in the lead right now. Here comes Nick Gardner. Hello and welcome to the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series live tonight for the Shenandoah Shine Sonoma 125 here from Sonoma Raceway. This is race number 2 of the playoffs. Here, round number 1, the round of 12. We enter the Sonoma Valley here in California. It'll be a bit of left-hand driving and right-hand corners at this racetrack. 40 laps around here, just over 100 miles. Race 15 of 20 this season. They'll be racing the lap 12 for stage number 1. Tonight's race is a Veterans Day theme, so you'll see some race cars out on track, very patriotic. We're honoring members of the military, and we do have quite a few drivers in this league that are currently serving in our armed forces or also have served as veterans, and we'll go through their roles in the military and who they are. Just a few moments. The drivers will be lining up for qualifying here, but let's take a look at the points as they enter into tonight's race. 12 drivers currently still in the hunt for the championship. You can see right now Zach Carr enters in with the points lead. Got a pretty good gap to cut line, but that tapers away very quickly as you get down below AJ Stravato. The top 3 with a pretty solid margin to that cut line. You can see Reggie Ortega, his gap not that great. Back to 9th place Anthony Pelican, who is actually tied with Jeremiah Vincent as they enter into tonight's race. Yeah, 9 points separating Reggie from Anthony, and then Chris Samard, Alec Martinez, Bradley Wilson, all drivers on the outside of that cut line. And we're looking to find their way in here tonight. And luckily for Alec and Chris, they're definitely both very strong at the road courses and up there in terms of the leaderboard in practice. If they can capitalize on a good run tonight, possibly a win. Definitely the top competitor here in terms of road racing ability. I think that's going to be Zach Carr. Most drivers in this league consider him to be the best one here, but he was not quite as big of a margin in the practice session for this race as he had in COTA earlier this season, where he was by far and away the fastest car on track every lap. See what he is able to do here in this race tonight. He is on the racetrack. Get up our qualifying tickers so you can see where your favorite drivers are going to be starting in tonight's race. That comes down into the hairpin, about to get ready to start lap number 1, and he goes in there really deep, actually missed the corner. The 5-time winner this season lining up to try and get a good run in. Start on the front row. He works through the left-hand uphill corner back to the right now. For those rumble strips, going to swing it all the way out to the left. Through this little downhill right-hand kink uphill to the left, back down to the right. Very difficult technical section of this racetrack. Then he will enter into the carousel, which is a little bit different than what you might be used to seeing at this racetrack. This is the older, long configuration that IndyCar had been running for years and years, and Cup used to run this configuration at one point in time. And they have since returned here for the last couple of seasons. And that is what we're running here tonight. Zach really fast down through that great chute there where the drag strip is. Back to the right one more time. Headed towards the S's. Such a rhythm-based section of the racetrack. You've got to really hit your marks here. If you get off by just a little bit, it can cost you seriously in lap time. He is pushing right here, back to the right hand. A little bit loose through the corner there. And he'll make his way into the hairpin and back through the final left-hand corner. A long ways around this track, almost 2 minutes. 1 minute, and let's see what his lap time rolls in as. 1:37.35, nearly a second faster than Keith Mayato. And he may not attempt a second lap. We'll see if anyone else does. Looks like he may just have the one lap to run out here. Currently, Zach Carr sitting atop the leaderboard. Alec Martinez, who was second quickest in practice, finds himself in that same position right now. Just under 6/10 off of the pole time. Keith Mayato just under 1 second. And then Anthony Pelican, a race winner this season. Chris Simard, who I mentioned, definitely strong on these road courses, but he is trying to make up ground on Anthony Pelican. Some of those other guys in front of him, he may just do that here tonight. Angelo Ronas, Reggie Ortega, Jeremiah Vincent, Brandon Pearl rounding out the top 10 at the moment. 10 drivers with a lap time in. Jeremy Miller is on the track right now trying to put in his fast lap. And AJ Stravato, another very strong road course racer. He's out on track trying to get a quick lap in. Jeremy will be one of the last qualifiers across the stripe right there, 1:39.18. That'll put him 8th position. And he is not going to be attempting a second lap. AJ Stravato coming through the final corner there, really loose, as that is a flat section of racetrack. And AJ, with a slow lap time, will get a time in. Actually, it does not appear he will get a time in. Must have had an off track in first lap. So that will do it for the qualifying session. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break to tell you more about the veterans in this league, and also get going here with our starting grid.
Welcome to V-Speed, your home for sim racing excitement, providing dramatic moments from iRacing and beyond. We offer broadcasting for leagues across iRacing with specialized packages to help grow your league and advertise your sponsors.
Shot at it, I think, and right now Stravato with that advantage. It's half a car length the difference between first and second. Going into turn one, he gives the bumper to Connor Horn.
These two have gone all year to get to this point. Jacob Shorba drifting up the racetrack. They make contact. The 88 goes around. The 95 goes around. The 12 caught in it.
Our design team can help you create anything from paint schemes to sim rig parts with expertise in both 2D and 3D design with 3D printing capabilities. Looking to get into broadcasting yourself? We can help you design and operate custom overlays to make your stream look as professional as possible. Our team can create and manage custom merchandise sales for you and your team. Check out our shop to see what we have in stock and how we can create some awesome merch for you. Check out our race replays on YouTube or catch us live weekly on Twitch. Visit us at vspeedsim.com to see how we can help you on your iRacing journey.
Back at the racetrack now. Let's take a look at some of our veterans who aren't in the race tonight. Some that we want to honor, mention. So actually, Robert Gilmore will be in the race tonight. We'll get on him a bit later. But Eric Lambert, who is in the chat, Air Force, good picture of him there. Your airman for the United States Air Force. So much for your service, Eric, and hope you enjoy the race tonight. And sorry you're not going to be in it here tonight. We were out there. Justin Carey, member of the Navy, served a few years, I believe 4 years total, and want to thank him for his service as well. Thank you, Justin. Kyle McGarvey. This is Robert Gilmore. It should be Kyle McGarvey, member of the Marines, and want to thank him. He won't be in the race tonight, but want to thank him for serving. Kyle, last one, who will not be here tonight. He is a member or former member of the Navy, and I want to thank him for his service and so many others out there. Tonight's race, again, the Veterans Day theme, so if you see any paint scheme on the track that you like, make sure to go ahead and use that link in the description to the video to vote for your favorite 3. And also help these guys out. Get a $10 credit if they win that contest. I want to do drivers in the league are military, have served, are in the race tonight. Timmy Emanuele. Big shout out to him. Member of the U.S. Army. He is in U.S. Army machine tonight. Thank you, Timmy. Hope you have a great race here tonight. Finally, Robert Gilmore. There he is, member of the Air Force. Thank you, Robert, for service. Good luck out there tonight on this road course. I know it's going to be a tricky one, but out here and look tonight. All right, and let's run through our starting grid in tonight's race. Rolling off from the top spot, it's going to be Zach Carr, the number 27 machine. A 5-time winner this season. He'll roll off from the pole position here tonight. Alec Martinez is going to be rolling off from the second position. He's number 18 car, a race winner this season. Playoff driver looking to find his way inside the top 8. Rolling off from row number 2, it'll be Keith Mayato, the 36 machine. His outside, Anthony Pelican. Keith already with the win this round. He will be advancing no matter what happens here tonight. Going up from 5th, Chris Samard. Starting in 6th, it'll be Alex Pelican. Going off from 7th, Angelo Ronas. Starting in 8th, Jeremy Miller. Couple playoff drivers looking for a victory. Reggie Ortega starting in 9th. Jeremiah Vincent can round out the top 10 in his patriotic machine. Starting 11th, Brandon Pearl. Starting 12th, AJ Stravato. 13th, Dallas Sullivan. This is a very awesome paint scheme, a tribute to his dad who was in the military. Rolling off 14th, Bradley Wilson, the Shenandoah Shine machine. Rolling off 15th, Dennis Faircloth, the patriotic Geico car. Rolling off 16th, Alan Dice. He's going to be in his Halloween scheme still. Seth Hatchell rolling off 17th. Nick Starling starting 18th in the Navy machine. Rolling off 19th, Timmy Emanuele with his U.S. Army car. Robert Gilmore in the Air Force machine starting in 20th. And Zach Smith rounding out the field tonight, his Vikings machine in the 21st spot. We are about to get underway. Pace car is on pit road. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hope you enjoyed tonight's race. Going to be a good one here from the road course. Of course, cheer on your favorite driver. Let us know you're out there. Who you think is going to win it all here tonight. Green flag in the air from Sonoma. We're underway for the Shenandoah Shine 125 as Alec Martinez looks to make a move here in turn 1. Not going to be close enough. Oh, Angelo Ronis up over the curb right there. That got dicey as we've got 3 wide. Jeremy Miller shoots the gap. They file down into the carousel. This is one of the trickiest areas as we've got cars locking up. There goes the 21 of Alex Pelican around. And everybody should be able to shuffle on by without an issue, but Alex is going to be sent all the way to the tail of the field here because of that. That car out in front by about a half second over Alec Martinez. I'd expect Alec to try and keep Dak as close as possible here. Put some pressure on him, try and force a mistake, and he is doing a good job. Still within a few car lengths as they enter into the S's, the backside of this racetrack. So cool to see these cars snake through here like this. We've got single file all the way. Nobody racing it up side by side at the moment, but good place to make a move is at the exit of these S's, or if you're going to be bold, maybe in the middle of the S's. Here is Dennis Faircloth. He takes a look to the left side of Brandon Pearl. Overshoots the corner. So does the 00. Brandon into the wall. Dennis through the dirt. Able to get it back on track. Here comes Alan Dice a little deep in the braking zone. Things getting action-packed further back in the field, but Zach Carr out in front. He leads lap number 1. Still able to hold off Alec Martinez by about 5 car lengths. Mayato not too far behind in that 3rd position. And then Chris Simard in 4th has gotten around Anthony Pelican, who's holding off Angelo Ronis and Jeremy Miller. Good job all around, clean racing for the most part, other than Alex Pelican's mishap there entering the carousel section of this racetrack. He is trying to track down Robert Gilmore, who finds himself in the 20th position. And there he goes. He will take that spot away. Robert just going to hand it to him, trying to run as safe and clean as possible, I would expect. Nick Starling back here, racing up with Timmy Emanuele and Brandon Pearl, who's gotten back on track after the off-road excursion there, but he is still struggling just a little bit with grip in that race car. The move made now by Nick Starling to the inside of Timmy Emanuele. Looks like he should be able to clear him. Oh, no, contact though. The 39 gets into the 2. He's going to send him around in the hairpin section of this racetrack. Timmy now gives a spot to Brandon Pearl, but a mistake there cost Nick Starling dearly. The battle for the race lead still pretty tight, just 0.8 of a second between Zach Carr and Alec Martinez. Headed up the hill towards turn number 1. It's then Keith Mayato, Chris Simard, the V-Speed machines 3rd and 4th. Battles around this track. AJ Stravato starting to close in on Reggie Ortega. AJ up 3 positions from where he started. Definitely applying that pressure. I'm not sure he got a lot of practice in, but now has the car underneath him, it appears, and AJ very focused on the road racing side of things in iRacing recently, and we'll see if that practice shows here, as he's going to try to make some passes later on in this run, I'm sure. Battling for position farther back, Jeremiah Vincent, Seth Hatchell, Dennis Faircloth. We've also got Bradley Wilson up in the mix here. He's in that 51 machine leading this line of cars. He does have quite a bit of nose damage, though, on that Toyota Camry. They'll make their way down here to the right-hand backside of the course. Hard over those curbs right there. That can be very dangerous and upset the race car. If Timmy Emanuele and Nick Starling are going at it yet. Timmy's still well out in front, but Nick Starling, or actually, it looks like Timmy gave up the position to Nick after he turned him around, and Nick has driven away since that point. Oh, and we've got Robert Gilmore going around a little bit farther back up the hill there. He will work his way back to the right direction. Definitely a difficult racetrack to get a hold of in these stock cars. But how about this? Alec Martinez, he's actually closing back up on that car. See how hard he's pushing the race car, and if Zach is maybe abusing his tires a little bit. Or if maybe Zach is saving a little and Alec is abusing his tires. We'll have to find out as this run goes on, but there'll be 8 to go in the stage when they get back across the stripe. Mayato still maintaining, actually running about a half second off of the top 2. And Chris Simard another half second off of that. He's about 1 second slower than the race leaders, but still very strong pace and much faster than the cars behind him. Things start to get interesting behind Anthony Pelican. You see Jeremy Miller and Angelo Ronas. These 3 have been pretty much linked at the hip for this run so far. Jeremy losing a little bit of ground there through the S's, but not pushing the car too hard, it appears. Trying to keep it on the track, which is going to be the goal here at any road course. The AJ Stravato take a peek down to the right side of Reggie Ortega. It looks like Reggie's going to give him space. AJ will attempt to complete the pass, and he will. To move the 33 up to the 8th position. They start lap number 5. Zach Carr still just a couple car lengths in front of Alec Martinez. But Alec showing some good speed here in race pace. Able to keep up with the number 27 for the moment. They have just driven away from Mayato now. Keith about 4 seconds behind. Actually losing some ground to his teammate, Chris Simard, that last lap. Four other battles on track. This 4-car grouping, still led by Bradley Wilson. Dennis Faircloth trying to recover from his mistake early on, up to the 12th position. Simulator's anonymous machine. He's going to look to the right side of the 51. Dives it in deep there. Had to check up as Bradley got really sideways. And Bradley is one of those drivers who is very exciting to watch on the road courses. He will make some really good laps early on, but he'll have mistakes like that. He's going to come back on the racetrack. Dennis Faircloth able to go right around him. And Bradley somehow still able to hold on to the 12th position. Now going to try and fend off Jeremiah Vincent. But as I was saying, Bradley is very exciting because he will just wheel a race car around these road courses. Almost like it's a drift competition. It is very fun to watch. It's not very good for his tires, but it's very entertaining, especially on the outside. And probably quite a bit of fun. He maybe had some contact. I see smoke. There's contact, the 51 and the 9. And then the 8 of Seth Hatchell right there in the mix. Had to check up quite a bit. I think we might have seen either a lockup or some type of contact, but it looks like Angelo Ronis has lost a position now to Jeremy Miller. Anthony Pelican still holding strong in 5th. Alec Martinez still within 6/10 of the race leader. Nice close racing here. It's good to see somebody actually challenge the 27 on these road courses. Zach has been just lights out when it comes to these very technical road courses. But Alec Martinez, he must have something figured out around this place. He is right there, just 2 car lengths separating the top 2 drivers. Mayato still about, well, now 5 seconds behind. He is continuing to lose about a quarter second to a half second a lap on those top 2. And Chris Simard is reeling him in just a couple more tenths that time. You can see that gap visually getting smaller and smaller. And then Jeremy Miller has made his way past Anthony Pelican now, as the 99 going to stay right on his bumper into the carousel. Jeremy able to scoot away just a few car lengths right there. You see he's really starting to get up on the wheel. Going to be 5 laps remaining in this stage when they get back to the start-finish line. AJ Stravato still holding on to 8th over Reggie Ortega, but Reggie is not letting him get away. They are both reeling in Angelo Ronis and that group of 3 cars. Dallas Sullivan rounding out the top 10. Really nice, solid job right here. I'm going to pull up the info on that paint. Get a better view of this one. Got the rocket on the hood and the on the side there. Very simple white paint scheme, a simplified number. But tribute to Dad, a 23-year veteran of the U.S. Air Force. One of his assignments as a young officer in the 80s was 374th Street Squadron, based out of Little Rock, Arkansas. Responsible for the Titan II year insurance. So for his service, 23 years in the Air Force. That's incredible, and thank you so much, Mr. Sullivan. As we've got a car off track, that is Robert Gilmore. Trying to get back up to speed through the dirt here, maybe waiting for a good opportunity. As here comes that battle led by Bradley Wilson, Seth Hatchell, Jeremiah Vincent, 21 of Alex Pelican. He has closed it up to this group. Zach Smith has taken it behind the wall, so that'll be the first out of this race. Top 2 still all over each other. Alec Martinez is not letting Zach Carr get away, but they have both gotten away from Mayato. Now 7.8 seconds as Keith continuing to lose time, and his teammate reeling him in a second faster last lap for Chris Simard. Chris pushing pretty hard through that last right-hander there. Started 5th up to 4th and making gains on his teammate. Jeremy Miller has gotten away from Anthony Pelican and Angelo Ronis. AJ Stravato continuing to close up on the 17, but he has gotten away from Reggie Ortega for the moment by about a second and a half. And AJ really pushing that race car now, trying to get every position he can before the stage. And it's Faircloth. He's pulled away from Bradley Wilson. Seth Hatchell all over the back of the 51. And here it is. The 51 starting to lose traction in those back tires. Hatchell closing in. He is there. And Alex Pelican putting a lot of pressure on the 9 of Jeremiah Vincent. Hatchell goes a bit wide on entry. Cuts back down to the right, though. Going to be right there as they head down into the carousel section of this racetrack. That's going to look to the right side of the 51. Try and cut it back underneath. Can't get the grip, though. Bradley Wilson holds on to that spot for the moment, but Hatchell is there ready to attack into this corner. We'll hold off on that thought, though. And 51 through the dirt just a little bit. Hatchell is right there. He's got pressure now from Jeremiah Vincent. They're all going to start making moves side by side into the S's. Hatchell will get that spot away. Bradley Wilson going to hit Jeremiah Vincent, who sends him into the tire barrier. Hard hit for the 9, nose first into the tires. Go back to this one. It all started. Hatchell made the pass. A clean pass right here at 51. Tried to cut back, kind of missed his line, and the 9 car tried to shoot the gap. That did not end well at all for Jeremiah Vincent, who will be able to continue on, but going to head to the pit lane here and going to be well behind the 8 ball in this race, but perhaps could be a blessing in disguise if he's able to jump these leaders through a pit cycle. That car able to pull out a couple more car lengths here. Keith Mayato in third as they are going to come up behind. That is Timmy Emanuele missing his nose. Go off the racetrack to get out of the way of the two V-Speed machines. Mayato still a second and a half over his teammate Chris Simard. Really good racing out here and very competitive across the board. We've seen quite a few battles. Here's one. AJ Stravato, he's caught Anthony Pelican. And he's already gotten around Angelo Ronis, actually. Reggie Ortega closing in on the 17th. Well, down into the braking zone in the hairpin. You can see AJ just closes up that much on the 99, getting back on throttle a little bit loose right there, but still maintaining a good distance. Oh, but really sideways through the flat left-hander as they race up the hill. 2 more laps in this stage. Zach Carr still out in front. He has now increased his gap 1.2 seconds over Alec Martinez, but Alec, very valiant effort here in stage number 1 to keep up and run right behind the 27 this entire time. Hear how hard or how long he has to wait on the throttle. Really big run on the curb right there. That's going to get him all out of sorts through the S's. You can see how much ground he lost right there. 3/10 alone. Really fighting the race car at the moment. You dive down into the hairpin. Huge gap back to Keith Mayato. It's over 10 seconds to the 36. Chris Simard, he is there now. He is close right up to his teammate. Could be a battle for position before the end of the stage. But the only one to get points at the end of lap 12, that's going to be Zach Carr. Could get a playoff point. He wins this stage. Or it could be Alec Martinez if Zach makes any kind of major mistake. Like AJ Stravato, he's gotten around Anthony Pelican and moved up to the 6th position. Watch out for him in stage 2. He's worked forward now 6 positions. I believe the biggest mover of the race. Possibly Seth Hatchley. He's moved up 5 positions. And change for a position up here. Mayato's lost his spot to Chris Simard, and Keith really struggling with the grip in that race car. Bit surprising, but maybe trying to figure a few things out. While Zach Carr still continuing to pull away now, 2.2 seconds. He was probably conserving his tires. Allowed Alec to stay right there with him, and now he's put the pedal down and be driving to another stage win and gathering another playoff point. Already has 9 coming into this race, and looking like that's going to be number 30 on the season, coming down through the last left-hand corner. That car is going to win stage 1 after a good battle with Alec Martinez. Will end up in that 2nd position. Chris Simard will take over 3rd, and the yellow does come out for the end of the stage. Still have 20 out of the 21 starters in this race on the racetrack. Zach Smith behind the wall. 17 of those 20 are on the lead lap. Jeremiah Vincent, after his issue there through the S's, the last car on the lead lap, he'll have a good chance to get more damage repaired. Earl will get the lucky dog, running in 18th position. So that car is the stage winner. They'll be racing their way back to catch up to the pace car. Be right back after a quick break.
Simulators Anonymous is an online gaming community. The heart of this community is playing simulator-style games, everything from driving, farming, flying, to the occasional survival game. We would love for you to join us. If you play these style of games, or if you're just looking for a great community, we strive to be a community you can be an active participant in by offering events like every 3rd Saturday night is a late night trucking on Truckers MP. We have a very own Minecraft server with other servers starting soon. Come join Simulators Anonymous today at www.simulatorsanonymous.com.
Back at the racetrack now. We're going to get a quick word in with Zach Carr before he gets to his pit box. Zach Carr, Adam in the V booth. You got me.
I got you.
Well, Zach, really great drive there in for 1. You had Alec Martinez stick with you for the majority of that. You're able to pull away and win another stage, another playoff point. How's the car feeling out there?
It's super loose. It does not like curbs. It doesn't like the flat corners. It doesn't like anything really. But you just kind of gotta baby it through the corners and make sure you don't slip tires. And then you just gotta like I said, baby it around the track and you'll survive. One little slip, the car's gonna not handle the same it did for the rest of the race. So yeah, just gotta kind of play it like that.
Doing a great job keeping it on track so far. I see you're pulling into pit lane. So good luck with the stop here, and good luck the rest of the way.
Yeah, thank you.
That car is he's about to get pit work done. Get off of pit road first, but he is going to be your stage winner, and that will get up to 30 playoff points in the season. A few drivers probably make their way around here and get a lot of damage fixed. Robert Gilmore was on the tail end of the lead lap right there, still one lap, or actually tail end of 2 laps down, able to stay just 1 lap down. Good news. Off of pit road, it is going to be Zach Carr, then Alec Martinez, Chris Samard, Keith Motto, Jeremy Miller, AJ Stravato, and then a tight battle there. Angelo Ronas and Anthony Pelican. Reggie Ortega, Dallas Sullivan, the top 10. Really good racing so far. Let's get a quick word in with AJ Stravato, who made his way forward.
186, same exact thing as yours.
AJ, Adam in the VSP booth. Sorry to interrupt you there.
Yeah, what's up, man? How can I help you? What's up?
You've made good progress in this race so far. Car's looking pretty fast. You're up 6 spots from where you started. How's it feeling, and plan here for stage 2?
Sorry for hearing me talk to my teammates. Honestly, I'm winging it. I have no practice. I got off of work and sped home to make it. So just trying to save the tires, and remember, this isn't a GT3 car. So just making sure I keep this thing on the track and just trying to outbrake people and save my tires. I think that was the really big thing right there, is just saving our tires. Obviously, I'm not going to catch Zach or Alec or any of those guys, but if we can get a top 5 or maybe a podium, sneak something out, it'll be interesting.
Well, you're definitely trending in that direction, and it seems like you're very consistent so far in that opening run. So definitely looking good and going the right way. So good luck the rest of this race.
Appreciate you, my man.
All right, AJ Stravato up to 6th. Go. Let's look at last year's champion, Seth Hatchell. Does have a race win this year. Currently running in the 12th position after starting 17th. Second biggest move of this. Behind Dennis Faircloth, who up 4 positions from where he started after an early race mishap. Able to recover pretty well and actually make up some ground, and it looks like we did have Dallas Sullivan make his way back onto pit road. Perhaps a strategy call for some extra fuel. Take a look at what he does right here. It was a mistake with tires previously. Maybe he didn't take tires. Exactly what's going on right there, but either way, he has brought it back in for a slightly extended pit stop. He had to make setting that. But having a pretty solid race, was running in the top 10 post. We'll go double file now. Get ready for this restart. If you're enjoying the broadcast, want to follow along on our social media, check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. They're on your screen. And also that like button and subscribe right here on YouTube. It helps us out a lot. Hope you guys are enjoying the race. It's been a good one so far for a smaller field on a road course. Very competitive all throughout. There have been battles to watch. A little bit of drama so far in this one as well. It's getting started. It'll be about 24 laps to go. Stage 2, so twice the distance they went stage 1. Able to keep the tires on them and taking on fuel and all that strategy. We'll see how it all works out for these drivers. Stage 2. If you haven't already, make sure to vote for your favorite Veterans Day paint scheme. Link that we just pasted in the chat. You can also find it in the video description. Vote for your top 3 favorite Veterans Day paint schemes. Look at this. Really tight, difficult through the hairpin right there. And Zach Carr in control. He's going to get us going right away. And he'll take control of that top spot. Alec Martinez maybe changing lanes right there. See how the admins look at that. Keith Mayato goes really wide, almost catches the wall. And he will lose the spot to Jeremy Miller for the moment as they all file down into turn number 1. Keith trying to cross the 30 back over, nowhere to go. For the moment, those two have had their run-ins this season. That moves Chris Simard up to 3rd. Or keeps him in 3rd. Make their way right-hand downhill section of this racetrack. Everybody single file and orderly. Although it looks like maybe a gap farther back. What happened to Bradley, or behind Bradley Wilson? Dallas Sullivan all by himself. After that pit stop, he never caught the field, it looks to be the case. And then Nick Starling just making his way out of turn 1. Jeremiah Vincent kind of in the same boat. He's actually just crossing the start-finish line. So already 50 seconds behind, but they did get the nose back on that race car. Will help him quite a bit. But we won't have any yellows from here on out, so what you have is what you have. You can't bank on a yellow flag to try and fix damage or catch back up. Any mistakes right now are going to be incredibly crucial to your success in this race. Zach Carr still in front, hanging on now over half a second already on Alec Martinez. Alec does a better job of conserving the tires here in stage 2. Jeremy Miller putting some pressure on the 37 of Chris Simard. Chris a little bit sideways right there. He's up on the wheel. He wants to get up there and challenge for second after showing really good speed late in that first stage. Right now, Zach Carr still a half second over Alec Martinez. That's about where they were for a lot of stage 1. Alec would occasionally close in to about 3/10. He ended up fading to about 2.5 seconds at the end of the stage. Just be interesting to see what drivers do to adjust. Jeremy Miller, big wiggle right there. Gets back on the gas. Looking for other battles on track. None to really take a peek at the moment. Single file, really orderly for the moment. Anthony Pelican back to 9th after running up up in the top 5 for a good part of this race. Not been able to stay up there, actually going the wrong way. Seth Hatchell has found his way up to the top 10 now, 7th is the game. That will make him the biggest mover as AJ Stravato still stuck in that 6th position and behind Keith Mayato at the moment. AJ and Keith had their fair share of great battles over the last couple of seasons. As Seth Hatchell looks like he has a little mistake right there. He'll go off the track and he'll get passed up by Dennis Faircloth and Alex Pelican. Try to recover here as those two are battling in front of him. Nothing changing hands right there. Up here, Jeremy Miller still trying to keep up with Chris Simard as the top two have pulled away. Once again, it's still just a few car lengths between that car and Alec Martinez. And Alec probably trying to force that 27 into a mistake, but we haven't seen one yet from Zach. He's doing an incredible job as we approach halfway in this race. Still leading. He's led every lap. Alec Martinez has been right there contending this whole time. Chris Simard, probably the third best car here tonight, but just not quite the pace to keep up with those top two, at least on the short run. He does as the run progresses, but it's going to be tough. Guys are really in a class of their own right now. Is the closest battle on track other than the leaders. It's going to be Alex Pelican and Dennis Verclaw fighting for a top 10 finish. Dennis in 10th, Alex in 11th right now. Hatchell has lost touch with those two. He's back to 12th. Not too much going on right now. Not a lot of mistakes being made, but maybe one right there. Reggie Ortega, he got a bit deep in the braking zone and it looked like he locked up. Almost heel hopped. Lost a couple car lengths to Anthony Pelican there behind him, and they may be starting to set up for a battle. Working through the S's right now. Anthony is closing just a bit, and next tire tracks after potentially someone ran off through the S's. The dirt, I don't think that was. Add now 3 retirements in this race. Robert Gilmore takes it behind the wall. Alan Dice, Zach Smith, all behind the wall. Jimmy Emanuele, last car in the race, and he is 3 laps down. Looks like he may park it for the night as well. Brandon Pearl in 7th. The only car 1 lap down. Had his fair share of night. Up towards the front early on in this race, but has not been able to really keep that car straight as he actually almost loops it right there. May have actually made contact with the wall. Let's see if we better look at this. A big drift right there to hang on to it. Good job by the 00. Jeremiah Vincent, last car on the lead lap, 1 minute behind the leaders. He's about less than 2/3 of the way of the racetrack behind them. Here's a battle. We've already talked about the 99 of Anthony Pelican. Reggie Ortega, looks like Anthony's able to make the pass on Reggie. Anthony back up to 8th. Reggie Ortega back to 9th. Dennis Faircloth, Seth Hatchell now closing up on one another. Dennis gone past by Alex Pelican, and Alex shot out of a cannon. He is closing right up on Reggie Ortega. Gotta be careful not to burn those tires up too quickly. We've got a cone casualty right there from the 99 of Anthony Pelican. Reggie Ortega in a Pelican sandwich right now, and he's going to hope to hold off the 21. Try and hang on to a top 10 finish here tonight, which is very vital to his points. How about this battle for the race lead still on? Alec Martinez closing in just a little bit more. That car's so smooth out there. You can see 18, he's pushing it harder and harder to try and get there. Not able to do it. Wow, Chris Simard, he's got a challenger now for 3rd. That is Jeremy Miller. Closed right up. Jeremy was actually quite a bit behind him, and now that gap just a few car lengths. Mata's able to separate from AJ Stravato by about a 1.5 seconds. Jeremy all over the back bumper of the 37. Looking at the points, the drivers only separated by 16 standings. Jeremy just 3 points up from the cut line coming into the race, and Chris, he is 13 down from the cut line, so going to be very important for Chris to get a good finish here. See how hard he battles the 30 if Jeremy does get there. Big move right there at 30 of Jeremy Miller. He's going to attempt to complete the pass. They're going to be side by side headed towards the start finish line. And nobody giving up right there, but it looks like the 30 clears him. Chris Simard, he is right there all over the back bumper of Jeremy Miller. Gonna try and make some ground in turn 1. Can't do it. Jeremy Miller takes third away. Lotto now closing back up. Looks like Simard maybe used his stuff up a little earlier on this run. If he can hang on to a top 5 right now in that 4th position. AJ Servato in 6th. Watching the redo battle, trying to save his stuff. Farther back, the Pelican sandwich around Reggie Ortega as Alex goes a bit wide there on that corner. He is still right there, just 2 car lengths behind Reggie. Dennis Faircloth, Seth Hatchell, that's a battle that's developing. Dennis really sideways right there. Still trying to put the power down. He was wiggling that whole straightaway. But the last remaining Simulators Anonymous machine in the race, the number 80, currently 11th. Be hoping for a top 10. We consider that a successful day here at Sonoma. Dennis, actually a very underrated road course driver. He really likes road course racing. He had a breakout performance last season at Road America where he second to AJ Servato in what was a really great battle. Side by side up here, Alex Pelican will clear the 22 of Reggie Ortega, but Reggie trying to get the nose back in. The 99 nearly catches the inside wall. That was a close call. Oh, we've got Nick Starling off in the dirt, stuck there as we've got side by side. Reggie Ortega back to the right on the 21 of Alex Pelican. It'll be side by side through the hill section. Downhill they go. The 21 of Alex Pelican, bit of an advantage, but Reggie, he's going to wheel hop just a bit. That sends Alex off into the dirt. Both keep it straight. But that is going to hurt both of their grip levels, especially Reggie, as he slid the back end of that race car pretty significantly. See if any drivers elect to try and split this stage or do a little undercut or overcut. We'll see what the call is to get closer to that time. Battle up here still for third. Jeremy Miller's not gotten away from Chris Simard. He's still right there, just 2 car lengths. Oh, and Chris actually going to get into him a little bit. Maybe the bump and run. See what Jeremy's able to do. He puts the power down pretty well, but could be kind of flip-flop situation from last time. Looks like Chris will give up the spot. Try and go single file uphill to turn number 1. Nick Starling still off in the dirt there. Must have had a technical problem. He is now 2 laps down. Looks like the car probably done for the day. Towards 6th position. Dennis Faircloth with issues now. What happened to the 80? Went onto pit road. I am not sure what happened right there. He drove straight into the end of that pit wall on pit road. Able to back it up. Maybe just lost track of where he was at. And he's actually going to take it behind the wall. That is disaster for the 80. What an odd incident. Maybe we'll join the chat here. Let us know what happened. But Dennis Faircloth out of this race. That'll promote Jeremiah Vincent now up to 14th as he continues to try and make laps out here with a heavily damaged race car. He'll pass another heavily damaged race car. Three-way battle up here for third, still pretty hot and heavy. The 30 of Jeremy Miller goes wide, though. There's Chris Samard trying to get by him. These two will not quit. Jeremy Miller still able to hang on to it as Samard couldn't pull it off right there. Mayato right there waiting for a mistake from both of these guys. AJ Servato slowly creeping into this picture. Four-way battle for third. The two leaders 10 seconds out in front of that. Alec Martinez, a little mistake right there, going off in the dirt. This is the battle to keep your eye on. This is 4 cars under a blanket. Got a couple farther back. Looks like Alex Pelican, Reggie Ortega separated by just about 1 second, and then Seth Hatchell not too far off of that one. So we'll jump to that in just a moment. Leaders now separated by 1 second, and we'll see if pit stops going to get started here pretty soon. It's been just about 12 laps, so they can split it either this lap or next lap. Still hop there for AJ Servato. He keeps it under control, but look at this. Chris Samard all over the tail of Jeremy Miller, that 30 car. He's been feeling the pressure here. Made a few mistakes over the last couple laps. Chris, maybe a little mistake right there, though. Went pretty deep in that corner. Closes up quite a bit, and he'll get into the back bumper of Jeremy Miller again. These two are all over each other in this race. Keith Mayato almost made a move there on his teammate. He may just do that here headed into turn number 1. But Keith having real trouble with that left-hander getting up the hill. Had that issue a few times where he's gone wide, almost catching the wall there. Not sure if that's a steering ratio setting causing that issue for him, but Jeremy Miller, he has been able to hold these guys off for probably 5 laps at this point. Really pushing that race car hard. He's made a couple small mistakes. Look at AJ Servato, the wiggle there. Behind all of that, Angelo Ronas, he's hanging on to 7th. Anthony Pelican closing in on him. Alex Pelican has gotten away from Reggie Ortega. And Reggie with a big slide right there. Here comes Seth Hatchell, going to try and capitalize. Like Dennis Faircloth maybe with you on pit road was trying to select tires for his stop. That's what caused him to get into the wall right there. Change for position up here in 4th. Mayato takes it away from Samard. Here comes AJ Servato. He'll look down to the right side. See if he dives it in. Chris Samard really deep, goes way too far in the braking zone. Had to avoid his teammate a little. He'll lose another spot now, back to 6th. We see Brandon Pearl bring it down pit road. Already 3 laps down in race. Heavy damage all around the race car. He will bring it to the crew. Out in front, Zach Carr still battling and holding off Alec Martinez. That 18 in the mirror right there. He's been putting pressure on all race long, and you've got to really give big props to Alec Martinez for doing that. Nobody's been able to do that on these road courses with that car. Very impressive run for both of these drivers. They are absolutely dominating. Well, faster than the rest of the field. Over 2 seconds faster nearly 2 seconds faster was Alec Martinez. And Jeremy Miller, he goes wide. Mayato almost stuck the nose in there, backed out to avoid contact as they work their way now through the S's. Jeremy Miller, though, you can see he is starting to lose the handle on that race car, and both Keith Mayato and AJ Servato have saved tires a bit better. They are closing in. Look at that run right there alone. Mayato, though, gets loose. Be able to make the dive into the hairpin this time. He has been rolling it better. Jeremy's had struggles in that corner, but Mayato dirt tracking it off the corner. Go farther back. Pelican sandwich, but this time Angelo Ronas in the middle of it. Anthony Pelicans moved up to 7th. Ronas to 8th. And Alex Pelican into 9th. Seth Hatchell has still not been able to get around Reggie Ortega, but they continue to race it out back here, 10th and 11th. Bradley Wilson fighting with Dallas Sullivan at the moment. And a little lock up there for the 46. Bradley, he's still been dirt tracking it each and every corner. Exciting to watch. This four-way battle for third, this is a lot of fun up here. Chris Samard, he is really faded now, trying to hang on to these three in front of him. There's a big mistake for Jeremy Miller. He did it 2 laps in a row, and this time Mayato able to take advantage. He will move to 3rd, where he was running much earlier in this race. Now work his way back into that position. Got 16 seconds to go to catch up to Alec Martinez in that second position. So top 2 have pretty much sealed their positions with no major mistakes in the race. Jeremy Miller, he's going to go into pit lane here. Will start the pit cycle. Drivers towards the front of the field. Laps to go for him. Or, 11 laps actually on those tires. Top 2 elect to bring it in, and if one undercuts the other, it could be the deciding factor in this race. Right now, they are running about 4 seconds or 3.5 seconds off of their fastest lap times. That's what the fall off looks like. But Alec Martinez, he's done a much better job of conserving on this run. It's been a longer run. He is still right there, all over the back of that car. I would think one of these two might bring it in. They may come in at the same time. See how well do you execute on pit road. Two have been a class of their own all race long, and you can just see 3rd place off in the way around that end of the racetrack. They will not come to pit road. Perhaps they think they can go a bit farther, maybe do fuel only to the end, something like that. Could be a strategy call as Jeremiah Vincent working down pit road. Will lap down in doing so, but should get that back when leaders eventually elected. Top 2 all over each other, and then Keith Mayato, he's gotten around. He got by Jeremy Miller there, still in 3rd. AJ Servato in 4th. Chris Samard now in 5th. And Jeremy has cycled back on the field with the pit stop. Angelo Rona is going to get around Anthony Pelican as the Pelican brothers do bring it down. And like Reggie Ortega is going to bring it in. Quite a few drivers in the top 10. There you see Jeremy Miller on track right now. He'll move back in top 10. Reggie on pit lane. But when do these top 2 bring it down? car has led every lap of this race, but if he wasn't there, Alec Martinez would have led every lap of this race. They're so far out in front. Neither of them are going to pit this time either. You can see the different approach to the corner. Alec, a much wider arc. Really no advantage either way. They stay the same distance. Here's right there. Alec actually able to back up by about a tenth. Mayato will stay out. Looks like Stravato will as well. Chris Bard going to stay out. None of the top 5 coming to pit road this time. Jeremy Miller is back up to 8th already. 1 second behind those drivers. Angelo Ronas 6th. Little wheel hop there into the hairpin. Seth Hatchell in 7th. Jeremy right there behind. Also, Pelicans 10th. Alex Pelican 11th. Reggie Ortega in 12th as they all work through S's. Here on the back end racetrack, almost 20 seconds over Keith Mayato. Less than half remaining. Come down to this final round of pit stops if you guys don't. I'm long ways set laps. Either of them bringing it in this time. Very interesting. They're going to go as long as they possibly can. They've got that gap to work off of, but you'd think whoever pits first, they may be able to win the race. Have a pretty good advantage getting that extra lap early. We're going to go quickly side by side. Be right back with the final few laps. Back at the racetrack, still the leaders have stayed out. Nobody among the top 6 has brought it in. Jeremy Miller has worked his way back up to 7th. Actually about to make the pass for 6th. Brought it down pit road from the 4th position at the time. He's lost 2 spots so far. Currently about 20 seconds behind where he was. If those top 5 drivers have to bring it down, because that could put Jeremy Miller in a pretty good spot. He's probably gained quite a bit of time. Point. Pelican brothers have brought it in. Reggie Ortega, Bradley Wilson, Jeremiah Vincent. Nick Starling's car farther off the racetrack. He is still sitting there in a dangerous position with these other drivers on the racetrack. While the top two still out in front, starting to close in. That is Bradley Wilson, who's on the tail end of the lead lap. Did make a pit stop on fresher tires than the leaders, but last time around was not faster than the top two, so that shows you just how quick guys are, even on nearly 20 lap old tires. Stravato in third, about 20 seconds behind. AJ Stravato a couple seconds farther back. Chris Samard another 6 seconds back as he lost a lot of ground here on the back half of this run. Sullivan able to make up position. I think Anthony Pelican may have had an issue just a moment ago. Let's take a look here. Yeah, he went off in the carousel, just lost the back end. Car slid well off the racing surface, and he was able to get it stopped and didn't make contact with anything. It cost him a spot to Dallas Sullivan, who's on much older tires. Should be able to work on past him, but have to see how that works out for him. Top five are bringing it down. I have a feeling they think they can stretch it the rest of the way. It is going to come down to the wire. These guys have been inseparable in stage number 2. Alec Martinez has been all over the 27. Don't think he'll be afraid to use the bumper. I know he doesn't like to go out there and race that way, but it's for a win. It's going to be to lock himself in around 2, and he came into this race below the cut line by 7 points. So if he doesn't win, he'll definitely gain points and probably climb above the cut line. But how important would it be to secure yourself in that next round? Get a victory here. Just lost quite a bit of ground though. Zach Carr able to pull away by a little bit right there. We'll work through turn number 1. 5 laps remaining in this one. Next week it's going to be Homestead. That's where the race will be. Half racetrack is a little bit more unpredictable. You're a little bit more in control of your destiny here at a track like this if you're this far out in front. However, losing ground now. 5 laps to go. May not be able to get there to Zach Carr. They're closing up on Bradley Wilson though. Bradley could play a role in this on fresher tires. Been able to actually relatively close in time to these top 2 at the moment. Alex seems a little bit better through that section of the racetrack. He always closes up right there and headed into the S's to stretch back out again. But gap still right around 3/4 of a second. So Alec not letting Zach get away very far. Zach a little bit off on his rhythm right there. So was Alec though. And definitely struggling now for the 18. Either of these guys elect to bring it in. Nope, they will both stay out, and I believe they are going to run it to the end in one. Chris Samard all by himself right here. See a battle possibly brewing up here. That was Alex Pelican and Dallas Sullivan. Anthony has actually gone all the way past both of those drivers and back up into 9th. Seth Hatfield, the next car up the road from him, and that's about 14 seconds. So Seth looking at a solid 8th place finish if he can run out these next 4 laps pretty quick. Top 2 now separated by closer to 1 second. So Alec Martinez just not quite able to keep up with Zach at the very end of this run, but he stayed with him much longer in stage 2 than he did in stage number 1. We'll have to see if they can stretch it on fuel. It's quite a distance, actually. 22 laps at this point in the run. Just a totally different level, totally different zip code 24 seconds to third place Keith Mayato, who is no slouch when it comes to road racing. I once raced against Keith here, and I finished second. He beat me by almost 30 seconds. That's how much better he was than me. And he's running third, almost 30 seconds behind the next two. So that just shows you how good those guys are. Putting on a masterclass here today at Sonoma. Bradley Wilson right here in front of these two. Sure, he doesn't want to influence the lead battle, but he probably wants to finish on the lead lap. So there's that conflict probably in his mind. I don't know what I want to do here. 3 laps to go. The leaders aren't too far behind. We'll see how hard he races them when they do get to him. That car has been able to stretch the lead out now 1 second over Alec Martinez, and doesn't look like it's going to happen for Alec without a mistake from the 27. The win number 6 as they will make their way around Bradley Wilson. Put him 1 lap down, 13th position. They've lapped all the way up to 13th race. Reggie Ortega in 12th. Last car on the lead lap did make a pit stop here in this stage, so that is why he's so far back. Battles Angelo Ronas, Seth Hatchell. They've closed up on each other once again. Angelo in 7th. Seth's trying to reel him in. Definitely appears that Seth has quite a bit more pace at this point in the run. Angelo ran a 1:44.4 to Seth's 1:43.6, and there you go right there. Hatchell going to make the move to the right side of Angelo Ronas. He'll take that spot away. Not really a challenge at all. Hatchell up to 7th, Angelo back to 8th. No other battles on track really to speak of. Anthony and Alex Pelican are not too far from each other, but still well too far apart to have any kind of battle. Now 2 laps to go. Zach Carr has stretched it out to 2 seconds over Alec Martinez. Really fallen off here last couple laps, but so is pretty much everybody else. They're all dropping lap time about a second slower than they were just a few laps ago. That is the difference right there between Zach Carr and Alec Martinez. Not as far as you would think, just 2 seconds around a track that's over 100 seconds to get around. It's really not too far at all. One mistake from Zach, even a little wheel hop could close Alec up at 2 seconds, but Alec goes a little wide right there. Trying to drive that car even harder to make up the difference and just cannot get the grip out of those tires. They're over 24 laps old, and he is really sideways there through the S's. Dirt tracking it now. He is off the track. That'll cost him even more in the gap up to 3 seconds. They work out of the S's. That car securing a really nice lead as he is going to be approaching the white flag. Alec taking out all the cones right there. That car back to the left, across the stripe, white flag in the air for Zach Carr, looking to secure himself into round number 2 of the playoffs. Already a huge points advantage over the cut line coming into this race. He has led every single lap here at Sonoma, but Alec Martinez, what a valiant effort. He has challenged him all race long, only to fall off just a little bit here late in this one. He may even have a flat rear tire. I'm not sure. That car looks like it is handling very oddly. Either way, it'll be Zach Carr, Alec Martinez second. Mato is third right now. He has 12 seconds back to AJ Stravato, so looking to secure a podium finish. Stravato fourth. Chris Samard riding in fifth. Actually has closed up on AJ. And this will be a battle coming down to the wire. They're going to go door to door. Jeremy Miller on the fresh tires closing in from behind. Probably going to be just a little too late. Oh, but that's not necessarily the case. He is closing in fast right now. The gap just 1.1 seconds, so we could have a three-way battle to determine fourth place. That car through the S's for the final time. Towards the hairpin. Second place, Alec Martinez, way off in the distance, just coming through that corner. And he's sliding around, but how about this? Stravado's been passed by Jeremy Miller. And AJ Stravato back to sixth. Here is Chris Simard. Gonna have some pressure. Zach Carr across the stripe will win here at Sonoma. Congrats to him. A dominating performance, and he will beat Alec Martinez by over 10 seconds at the end of it here. Alec sliding. Conclude this race. The battle is now for fourth. Jeremy Miller, he's got one last opportunity. He's going to look to the right side, and he was going to give a bump to Chris Simard in the 30, nearly losing control. It'll be a drag race to the start-finish line as they get back on the throttle, and it looks like Chris Simard should be able to hang on to it. Simard, after an intense battle, will come home fourth. Jeremy Miller up to fifth after he charged back through the field on those fresh tires. Final real battle for position on track is going to be right here. Seth Hatchell and Will Ronis. They'll go 7th and 8th. Good run for all of these drivers to finish this thing out on the lap. The Pelican brothers will come home 9th and 10th. Alice Sullivan working through the final corner. He'll come home in the 11th position. Reggie Ortega not able to climb back higher than 12th. That car, race winner, 6th time this year. Congrats to him. We're going to head to interviews straight away tonight. Absolutely dominating performance by Zach Carr. Booth, Zach Carr, Adam of the V-Speed Booth, you got me.
I got you.
Well, Zach, an absolutely dominating performance, but it wasn't easy. You had Alec Martinez all over your back bumper for almost the entirety of stage 2, and he only fell off late there. But how much did you feel that pressure from him?
I felt a lot of it off the start of the run. The car, like I said earlier, it's super loose, so trying to kind of manage a fast guy in the short run behind you and keeping the tires underneath you, it's difficult at a track like that. So I definitely felt the pressure for that first run there, first beginning part of that run, excuse me. And I knew in my head, I just kept telling myself he'll probably fall off like he did the last run. Just keep the car consistent, keep the tires underneath you, and you should end up pulling away at the end. And then the fuel strategy in the end there, we only had 0.1 come out of the final corner to make it. So it was really close on gas. So I was just hoping I wouldn't have to fuel save while having to hold off Alec.
Yeah, I wasn't sure what the call was going to be for everybody there. We did see you guys end up bringing it down pit. I didn't realize it was that close, but very impressive to hold him off and save the fuel that much. And you locked yourself into round 2. It looked like you were probably going to be a shoo-in for that no matter what. Have a race next week before we get to round 2. Homestead, how do you feel about going out there?
Homestead, it's always a fun track. With this 550 package, I think it takes a little bit of the car control out of it, so a little less fun. But it's still always fun having multiple lanes you can run. You can't really run up at that up next to the wall or anything, but there's still, I'd say, 2 or 3 lanes you can still use there that are really fast. The only unfortunate part, the dirty air is really going to be in effect that night. So we're just gonna have to hope we qualify good, get some good clean air, and just try to keep the tires underneath us and maybe bring it back to victory lane again.
Sir, and bring it to victory lane tonight. You did. You lead every single lap after starting on the pole. Hold them all off for all 40 laps. Your 6th victory of the season. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
My teammates, AJ, Jeremy, Angelo and Reggie, you know, those guys. Like I said multiple times, they help me out when I need help, and I'm there to help them. Like tonight, I was helping Reggie and them kind of learn a couple of the corners with gearing and kind of breaking points. So the teammates are always good to help kind of get some more information. Angelo was definitely helping me with the field tonight, so big thanks to him. Keeping me calm through that. Big thanks to you for broadcasting, and big thanks to the league owners for putting this on, and sponsorships to keep this league lively. So just big thanks to everybody.
Awesome, Zach. Well, congrats on another dominating performance. 6 wins this. Moving on to round number 2 in the playoffs. Go celebrate and catch you next week.
Sounds good, Adam. Thank you.
All right, Zach Carr, race winner, 6th time this season, takes it to victory lane. Let's go to second place finisher now. That is going to be Alec Martinez. Pull him to the booth. Alec, Adam in the V-Speed booth. You got me.
I gotcha.
Well, Alec, you were all over Zach's tail that whole second stage, and he said he was feeling the pressure. You guys were saving fuel, and it was really close there until just a couple laps to go. But and what a drive here tonight. How did you keep up with him?
I don't know, man. Felt like Chase Elliott here when they were racing here about half a year ago, man. Didn't know Kyle Larson was racing today. But, man, I was trying to keep up. I felt like I could. I just, you know, after about, at least on the second run, I felt like I burned my tires off a little bit too much trying to stay with them. And I knew I could, but I just pushed it a little bit too hard on the beginning of the run. Knew what I needed to do in the second stage, get to the end, and I did it. And then, man, I am so bad in turn 11. It is not even funny. I was getting pulled 15 car lengths almost every time. Always been my worst corner on this track. Probably one of my worst corners on any road course. I can't figure it out here. I don't know. I'd have to work on that or something. But other than that, yeah, the hairpin on the last corner. I don't know. I just could never get the drive off. Everywhere else I was fine, but man, all the tire that I was trying to save, it just went away at the coming off of 11. I just burned the rears off too much a little bit. Felt like I still had enough tire to catch up to him, but man, being behind a car, especially one of these cars here, in the faster paced corners, it just burns the front off without being in clean air and not having any air going to the nose and helping an extra little bit of rotation. It just can never get about 0.2 back without getting really tight off of like the carousel or through the S's. Other than that, man, I was just happy to keep up with them. I'm glad we were able to get second here, get a little bit of points going into Homestead. Not my best track at Homestead, but I'm excited to go there and hopefully get advanced into the next round. So hopefully this run will hopefully this run puts us into the next round, and we're just gonna have to have a solid finish next week, and we'll see where we can go from there.
Yes, sir. Doing exactly what you needed to do. Coming up, really solid finish here. You came in 7 points below the cut line, but definitely help close that gap, if not eliminate it. Yeah, I think your closest competitors right around that cut line, definitely, they all finished behind you. So make up points no matter what.
All right, well, that's good. Like I said, we'll just have to go into Homestead. We'll see what we can do there. It's going to be all about, clean air because you got the big old spoiler on the back. So let's see what we can do there. Not my best track, like I said. So go try everything I can, fight like heck to make ourselves get into the round of, I think it's round of 8. So see what we can do there, and then see what happens.
Yep, second place will do it. Tonight you ran second entire night. Really would have been a dominating race if Zach wasn't here. You would have been well out in front of everybody else. But what do you want to give a shout out to for second?
Yeah, I want to give Zach a shout out, man. He taught me a few things about this track I thought I never knew I could do, so it helped me. Hopefully next time if we come here next year, it'll be a little bit different with the next gen, but taught me a little bit of racing lines of what I could do, and my family watching, you doing the broadcast, everybody else watching out here tonight. It was a very fun race. Wish I could have got him there, but congrats to Zach. He drove a heck of a race tonight. Just couldn't get there, man. I couldn't beat Kyle Larson tonight, so let's see what happens. And yeah, we'll go into next week, hopefully get something there. And just want to thank Shenandoah Shine for sponsoring the race, and all the veterans that have served in the military and all over the place for our country. Thank you to them. And I think there were some that were racing tonight, so thank you to them, and thank you to everybody. And if you're watching, we appreciate your service. And hopefully we put on a show for you guys tonight, and we'll go get them next week.
Sure, and thanks for putting on a good show for us here, Alec. Keep it front. Catch you at Homestead.
No problem. Thank you, man.
All right. Martin, second place. You're very happy to get second, but also probably a little disappointed to not get the win. But on Homestead, with hopefully of the cut line. Go to third place finisher now. Keith Mayato, Adam the Beast. Got me.
10-4.
Well, Keith, a solid third place run. No major incidents or anything here. You have a great follow up to the win last week, and continuing to just. Obviously, didn't have much for those top two, but describe your race back there in a tight battle for third.
Yeah, that's the only thing that really kept it interesting was the tight little battle we had there, and then it was just fuel savings for the last, I don't know, like 10, 15 laps, and I was one lap to the good, so it paid off there. But it was fun. But you had to manage tires. At least I did, and most of the guys, I don't know about the two guys up front, the team, they ran away with like 20 some odd second lead on us, but it was good nonetheless. Good result, top three. I'm happy with that, and hopefully keep the momentum going till Homestead next week.
Yeah, how tough was it with the worn tires late in that run? I know it was you and Chris and Jeremy, AJ. You guys were all on top of each other. Just kind of describe that battle, like running behind people, trying to hit your marks and all that. Here, it's pretty difficult with the worn tires.
Yeah, it was pretty difficult, and especially when I started catching them, I was quicker than them. I was just being patient with Chris in front of me. I was like, I don't know what Chris is gonna do, but as soon as AJ was putting pressure on me, I'm like, okay, we got to start moving here. But I could see Chris and Jeremy, kind of abusing their stuff, and I was like, okay, hopefully these guys will come back to me, because I made that mistake in the first stage where I used it all up, and I didn't have a left rear left to keep me going.
Yeah, it definitely was keeping things interesting. It was a lot of fun to watch you guys do out there. And, you come home with the podium. Go to Homestead next week. You're locked into round 2, so kind of a free race for you. But how do you feel about going out there?
I'm always confident with Homestead. Usually get pretty good results, so we'll see how it goes. Hopefully, dirty air is not too bad at Homestead.
Alec mentioned that before you. He said that's going to be probably the biggest factor. We'll see how big of a deal it is. I would imagine probably it's going to be somewhat of an race, but see if you can get another victory here in round 1 of the playoffs. But you come home third tonight. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Yeah, shout out to Shenandoah Shine for sponsoring the race tonight. Yourself, Adam, with the great job you do with the broadcast on V-Speed, and everyone at below Double Yellow, and also my teammates. They gave me a little bit of assistance tonight, which paid off for me and not so much for them.
Yeah, you beat all of them by a pretty good margin here. Great job here, Keith. And take that third place finish. We'll see you next week at Homestead.
Thanks, Adam. Have a good night.
Out of third here tonight at Sonoma, but race winner was Zach Carr in the number 27 Car Racing Designs Chevy Camaro. He takes home the top spot. Go through the rest of our results. Head out for tonight. Only one caution in tonight's race, and that was the stage break. No other cautions are going to happen at all unless there was a major accident. Never the case here tonight. Zach Carr from the pole leads every lap, holding off Alec Martinez the entire way. Alec is right on top of him up until about 2 or 3 laps to go. Ends up fading really badly there, especially at the last lap. I think kind of playing around 10 seconds behind second place Mayato. A distant third, but still nonetheless on the podium here tonight. Chris Simard, 4th place. Jeremy Miller with a strong recovery after the pit stop decision. He comes back to 5th. AJ Stravato finishes in 6th. Seth Hatchell finishes 7th. Angelo Ronas finishes 8th. Anthony Pelican 9th. And Alex Pelican rounding out the 10. 11th was Dallas Sullivan. Reggie Ortega finishes 12th. Bradley Wilson finishes 13th. Jeremiah Vincent. Brandon Pearl 15th. Dennis Faircloth 17th. Nick Starling 18th. Timmy Emanuele 19th. Robert Gilmore 20th. Alan Dice, and rounding out the field here tonight, Max Smith in 21st position. Out of this race very early. I want to thank everybody for tuning in here tonight. Hope you guys enjoyed the broadcast. And back next week, race from Homestead. Won't want to miss that one. That's going to be the knockout race for round number 1, the elimination race. We'll see who makes it in. Very close around that cut line. Won't want to miss it. Thanks for tuning in, and be sure to hit like and subscribe, and check us out at all these different social media outlets. Stay up to date with what we're doing throughout the week. Thank you, veterans, for your service. All the drivers in the league are veterans. Thank you so much. And hope you guys enjoy the broadcast. Everything that you do for us. See you all next week.